it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to episode 13 of my NHL franchise mode with the Montreal Canadiens. So we're at the draft. Headlines are true. With a record of 25-31-5, Matt Duchene wants out. So does Teravainen. I guess Toronto wants to make that big playoff push. They're already 36-22-5, but they have Joe Ginla on the block. So we'll see what they do there. He's ripping the WHL right now. Pretty sure, yeah, Edmonton Oil Kings. So the WHL, 68 points in 41 games. Last year had 130. Just, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna move on from him. I guess they're just looking at their options. Calgary's a hot mess. 22-35-5. Uyghur, Anderson, and Slavin all at the block. So they want out. Getting paid like $6 to $7 million for 5 years, 3 years. I guess we'll see what Calgary does too. Do they blow it up? They have Gavin McKenna. He's a good prospect. Maybe they go to add other prospects alongside of him. Let's see what Calgary does. And then if you look at Ottawa, another hot mess. 25-32-5 at the bottom of our division. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know what they need to do. Chychrun and Shabbat want out. They have their prospects in Keranin. I mean, I don't even know who's prospect anymore, who's prime. Just nothing ever panned out. They have Celebrini there too now. Just such a mess. So they're not pushing 3 goals a game. They're letting in almost 4 goals a game. Their power play is at 14.1%, and their penalty kills at 76 point. They're just a real mess right now. They haven't made the playoffs since who knows how long. Forget this universe. It's been, I don't even remember. I guess when they made the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2016 or something. So roughly a decade with Ottawa Senators not even coming close to touching the playoffs with the stacked team that they have. So they got to figure it out. All right, so we'll start with the forwards. So Rantanen's still leading the league, 93 points already. So even if he ended at 82 games with 93 points, it's good. But still another 20 games to go. He's at 93, 46 goals, 47 assists. McKinnon, his boy, there at 92, 1 point behind him. Jack Hughes with 84, Kucherov 79. So a lot of players over PPG. Let's see if there's any. I guess we have Slavkovsky at 70, so we'll go till about there. Yeah, so Slavkovsky at 70, and then the list goes on. Leo Carlson 69. So is this his breakout year? Yeah, so this is his breakout year officially. He had 66 points last season, so still an excellent season, but 69 and 60. He's proving why he's their number 1 center and potentially their next captain. Kirby Doc, our boy, Makachuk. And the list goes on. So Zegras there as well over PPG still. For defensemen, we got Adam Fox, Cale Makar. So Adam Fox actually the only one who's over PPG, but that's okay. A lot of good defensemen still. Dougie Hamilton, Vince Dunn, Evan Bouchard ripping it for Carolina, Quinn Hughes, Chris Letang for us, 39 years old, having an outstanding season. Mintyukov, 47. Devin Tays, wow, 47 okay, 33. I thought he was older than that. Darlene dropped off since the beginning of the season, but still ripping it. And then the list goes on. So many good defensemen. For goalies, Connor Ingram having another fantastic season still. So he's proving that he is an elite starter now. Back-to-back seasons as one of the top goalies. Georgiev, Gustafsson. So if you look here, Joshua Roy still up there in the rookie skaters leading the way, but he dropped off immensely. He had, 21 points in 19 games, which means he got roughly, what is that exactly? 21 points, so 9 plus 7, 16 points in about 43 or 42 games. I mean, yeah, not as you had 21 points in 19 games, just think about that. Roger McQueen, 37 points as well, is only 20 years old still, 6'5" though, such a beast. Arkhipov with 31, Misa 31. So this year kind of reminds me of like the Lafreniere, Byfield, Stützle. I think Stützle was the only one who really broke out the first season. But apart from that, it took that whole draft class quite a while to really, Lucas Raymond as well. You know, it took them like 2-3 years to really explode into the league. But I don't know, I see this kind of being the same thing. A lot of good hockey players just not performing to their peak in their first NHL season. All right, guys, let's get straight into the trade deadline. I'm going to keep current trade block. I think I've decided that I am not going to be making any moves. We have too deep of a team, to be honest. I don't really need anyone. All right, so there's actually a trade between the Vancouver Canucks and the San Jose Sharks. Teuvo Teravainen, Philip Zadina, and Kalen Addison all get shipped to Vancouver in exchange for a 2027 first-round pick this year and a prospect, Marek Fedotenko. He was a 23rd overall pick, medium top 9, so nothing too special. Another trade coming in between the Islanders and the Chicago Blackhawks. So the Chicago Blackhawks trade away Brandon Montour and a 4th-round pick in exchange for a 2027 first-round pick, a 2027 second-round pick, and prospect Dominic Ruchin. So he was a 2nd-round pick, 39th overall, medium top 6 defenseman, so nothing special there on the prospect in return. But I can't believe that. Islanders are a bottom-feeding team this year, and they got rid of their 1st and 2nd round pick. So Edmonton makes 2 trades. One to the Utah Steelheads and one to the Calgary Flames. I can't believe they're trading with Calgary, first of all. The one with the Utah Steelheads. Utah Steelheads trade away Sean Durzi, Jack McBain, a 2028 3rd-round pick, and Anthony Stolars in exchange for a 2028 2nd-round pick and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So this is a team who's first in their division. They're 33, 28, and 3. So it's not the best record. So maybe they are trying to make a bit of adjustments to their lineup so they could get a lot more wins in a row, I guess. But they are first in their division, so it's kind of a weird one. But they go get themselves Shane Durzi in exchange for Nugent Hopkins. The other one to Calgary. Rasmus Andersson gets traded to the Edmonton Oilers, so they pick themselves up another defenseman. But they trade away another forward in Zach Hyman, a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick of this year. So Edmonton Oilers are going wild. Wow. Okay, so I don't know what to make of these 2 trades to Edmonton. I feel like it kind of makes sense. We'll take a look at it together. Their forwards are still, they have a lot of depth forwards. I feel like their bottom 9 is very depthy. I feel like they're lacking at least that one of Nuge or Hyman, so I feel like they should have made probably just that one trade. Their top line, McDavid, Draisaitl, Konechny, is disgusting. So at least that line will carry the rest of the team. But it's been the same mistake with them many, many years of them just relying on Draisaitl, McDavid, and having no depth scoring. So a bit of a weird one in that sense. Not to say they don't have good depth. I mean, all these players are decent bottom 9 forwards. So we'll see how they do. But look at their defense. At the beginning of the season, we took a look at them with no Bouchard, and it looked like they had a weak defense line. But now they got Nurse Anderson, Durzi Pettersson, Wallman Radish. I mean, those are sick. That's a solid top 4, first of all. And then Wallman Radish on the bottom pairing. It's pretty nasty. But why it doesn't really make sense, it's because now you go to scratch players and you have Broberg and Grzelcyk who are just sitting. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe, do the one trade for maybe Rasmus Andersson for Hyman. And then you have no more Durzi. You could bring Radish up or bring Broberg in or put Wallman to the top 4. He's listed as the top 4. So, and then on forwards, you could have maybe Nuge in the middle here. Drop Holloway down to the 3rd line. And then whatever, Asplund could be out of the lineup or whoever. Leeson, doesn't really matter. You have Nuge, who's better than all 9 of these players. So other trades, we got Eli Tolvanen going to Edmonton. So we just looked at the lineups. They got rid of their 2 forwards, but they got him. I didn't realize that. In exchange for Brian Dumoulin and a 2nd-round pick this year. Philly acquired Damian Severson, a 4th-round pick this year and a 4th-round pick next year for Drake Batherson and a 3rd-round pick next year by Philly. So Columbus and Philly make a defense for forward swap. New Jersey acquired Nick Roy, Nicholas Hague, and Ryan Johansson for a 2028 first-round pick and a 5th-round pick. Toronto acquired Artem Zub and a 3rd-round pick for Seattle's first-round pick this year. Pretty decent deal for Toronto. They don't trade away Ginla. No Matt Duchene gets traded. Rasmus Andersson was the only defenseman on Calgary. And Ottawa, still a bottom feeder no matter what. Boys, let's get into it. Those are the trades. We didn't do anything, so our lines stay the same. We always have David Perron if we need to bring into the 3rd line to play with Malkin and Crosby. But for now, we're going to keep it as is. Yes, we did go 7-6 in the month of February, but I'm expecting a bounce back. So let the simming begin, boys. We're going to go to the end of the month. First off, Edmonton Oilers, the new look. We beat them in shootout 4-3. We lose in shootout to Columbus, though, and then win in shootout to New Jersey. Win 5-3 against the Capitals, 4-2 against Minnesota, 3-2 against Colorado, 4-3 against all 1-goal games, 6-4 against Tampa, 8... Okay, we're just on a roll here, boys. So look at that bounce back. We are on a roll. To start with forwards, like always, Slavkovsky leading the way with 81 points, 37 goals, 44 assists. So he is ripping it. Is this his first PPG season, or did they go PPG? Okay, so 79 and 80 last year. It's official. He got PPG this year, boys, unless he gets no points or he gets injured. No, then you go PPG still. It's true. Caulfield, 78 points. Sveshnikov with 77, 36 goals, 41 assists. Caulfield with 34 and 44. So 330 goal scorers on our team, boys. Kirby Dach, 76 and 23. Sidney Crosby, 73 and 72 on the third line. What a stud. Nick Suzuki, 66 and 64. Sean Farrell, 60 and 69. Evgeny Malkin with 50, so he's getting a bit more goals in now in the second half of the season. Owen Beck with 24. Fisher with 24. Faxa with 21. Look at this. Plus 14, 17, and 18 for your last line. Then Emil Heineman, 20 points on that third line, plus 8. Kuznetsov, the legend, 7 points in 9 games this season, unless someone gets injured, knock on wood. Perron with 1 and 2. For defense, Letang with 56, Hudson with 44, Mayu with 40, Gouli 15, Bichelle 13, Korzak with 12, and look at the plus minus for our defense, boys. Just outstanding. I love to see it. Goalies 35, 11, and 4 with a 906 save percentage, 2.92. Fleury 15, 6, and 1 with a 914, 255. I wonder if he's going to even retire this season. Wouldn't be surprised if he continues. So before we start the sim, we're going to go right into the division standings. So starting with us, Canadiens, Bruins, Lightning, Maple Leafs holding a wild card spot, Sabres, Red Wings, Panthers, and the Senators just outside of the playoffs. Metropolitan, you got the Devils, Rangers, and Blue Jackets. Hurricanes holding a wild card spot. Then Flyers, Penguins, Islanders, and Capitals all fighting for a potential seed. See, I don't know why Islanders made those moves, but they did. In the Central, we got Avalanche, Stars, Jets, and Wild, and Predators. So Wild and Predators holding a wild card spot. Steelheads, Blackhawks, and Blues, who are all out of the playoffs. Unfortunate for Bedard, but it is what it is. Avalanche already clinched, so I think it's just us. Okay, so the Devils, us, and Avalanche who have clinched. That is it. So the Pacific one's a fun one to look at. Oilers, Canucks, Kings holding a playoff spot. Then you have Kraken, Ducks, Sharks, Flames, and Golden Knights fighting for one. Well, I mean, the Golden Knights and Flames, no chance. But let's get right into the sim, boys. 10 games left. Detroit, we lose 1-0. Loss. Back-to-back wins against Carolina. That's huge wins, actually, with that trade. Shootout loss to Boston. Overtime win to Philly. Loss to Pittsburgh. Win against Toronto. Shootout loss against Florida. And we end the season with a loss to the Minnesota Wild. 5-3. So we go 54, 21, and 7. That was a bad last 10 games, boys. Let's hope that doesn't creep up with us into the playoffs. But it's always a new season at the Bell Center. Electrifying. I can't wait to see who our first round matchup will be. What an absolute legend. 86 overall, Sidney Crosby on the third line, getting 91 points to lead the Montreal Canadiens into the playoffs for the second time in a row. And potentially to win the cup a second time in a row. All right, so starting with the Canadiens, of course. Crosby, 91 points, 34 goals, 57 assists, plus 19, 27 power play points, had 16 minutes and 3 seconds of time on ice on average this season. What a beast. My God. Slavkovsky hits the 40 goal mark, 41 goals, 49 assists, 90 points. Caulfield at 87 points, 39 goals, 48 assists. So he didn't get the 50 goal mark this year. But boys, 30 goals, 40 goals, 30 goals, and Sveshnikov with 30 goals as well. And then don't forget Dach and Farrell also getting 20 goals apiece. So yeah, Sveshnikov there with 83 points, 38 and 45. Kirby Dach with 79 and 82, 24 goals, 55 assists. Suzuki with 75 points in 74 games. Dach with 65 and Farrell with 65 and 79. Evgeny Malkin 59 points, still on the third line, 40 years old. He got how many minutes? He was playing 12, 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, crazy. Owen Beck 28 points, Heineman 27, Fisher 24, Fox with 23. Defense, Letang with 61. Hudson 47 and 76. Mayu 43 points. All of them getting over 10 goals this season. So that's fantastic for us. Gouli plus 39, 17 points. Bichelle 16. Korzak 13, 26 and 25. And remember, Caden Gouli's plus 39 playing top pairing minutes against the top guys in the NHL. So I want him to grow higher than 83, but I don't care. As long as he's 83 and above and hitting these numbers, I'm okay with that. We did pay him what? He has how many more years? 7 years at 4.8. So it's beautiful at age 25. Joey Decord, 38, 15, and 5 with 4 shutouts, a 908 save percentage, 2.88 goals against. Fleury with 16, 7, and 2. No shutouts this season. Dropped to a 906, so probably the last 10 game stretch kind of hurt his stats, but 42 years old. What can I say? Can't ask for a better backup than that. So Mikko Rantanen leading the league with 117 points. McKinnon, we have 57 goals too. McKinnon 115 with 51 goals. So 250 goal scorers on their team is just mental. They probably played on the same line too. Okay, 348 shots, 317 shots. Unbelievable. Kucherov 108, so he hit 48 goals this season. Had 54, 53 last year. Jack Hughes, another stellar season, 108. Reinhardt, 107. Barkov, 105. Adam Fox at 102 as a defenseman. Such a beast. Austin Matthews hitting 154 goals. Kachuk with 100 also. So he actually took off. I'm pretty sure he was at about the same amount of points as like Kirby Dach and Slavkovsky and stuff at the 3-quarter mark of the season. But he ends up with 100 points. Jason Robertson, 1 point shy. Jesper Bratt, 2 points shy. Stamkos and Aho, so a lot of people who hit high 90s. And the list goes on. Sidney Crosby there, 91. Such a beauty. A lot of players of ours hit PPG. So those are your guys. Leo Carlson with 83 there. What about Zegras? How did you do with that contract? 79 points in 82 games. You take it. I'll take that. If I paid someone 11 mil and they produced 79 points for me, especially in this era, pretty good. So Connor Ingram, 47, 17, and 7. 4 shutouts, a 917 save percentage with a 2.56 goals against average. Played 71 games this year. So talk about elite, man. Wow. Georgiev, 39 wins. Decorda, 38, so third most wins in the league. Shesterkin, 37, so a lot of decent goaltenders with the wins. Save percentage. Ingram, I guess. I think he's going to win Vezina again, boys. Connor Ingram, back-to-back Vezina trophies. Let's see if that happens, or will he get robbed? So Roger McQueen, potentially getting Rookie of the Year. Let's see how this goes. We're going to have to look at the rookie goalies as well, but I'm pretty sure Roger McQueen is going to get the Calder trophy. Joshua Roy with 44 points, so from 20 points in 20 games to 20 points in 60 games about. It's definitely a weak second half of the season. Caden Lindstrom climbed his way up, 44 points. Arkhipov with 41. Wow. So it's between Roger McQueen and his own teammate, Yaroslav Askarov. Rookie goalies. He was the only one who played a full season as the starter. He went 34, 23, and 4 with 2 shutouts, a 913 save percentage, and a 306 goals against average. They trade away Saros, and these are the numbers he puts up. Wow. Who's going to win that trophy? Is it going to be Askarov on Nashville or Roger McQueen on Nashville? So if we take a look at the entire league, the New Jersey Devils with 117 points, going 55, 20, and 7. So we are just 2 points shy. 1 less win, 1 more loss. Same amount of overtime losses. Congrats to New Jersey there on getting the President's Trophy. Colorado there in 3rd. New York Rangers in 4th. Dallas 5. So Dallas actually had a crazy comeback. They started off pretty shitty this year, but look at that. Let's see how Tyler Toffoli did, actually. So Toffoli getting first-line minutes with Hintz and Robertson. They go with Stankoven, with Sergei Granlund. Perisic, so the rookie with Wyatt Johnson and Evgeny Kuznetsov in the 3rd line. Nyquist, Bork, and Deliandra. So was that trade worth it? Who knows, but they're back in the playoffs, and that's all that counts for them. Defense, Heiskanen, Lundqvist, Tanev, Harley, Lindell, and Kyrou, and Ottinger in nets for the Dallas Stars. So let's see how they do against the Nashville Predators, round 1. Toronto Maple Leafs at 6, Nashville Predators at 7, so that's a good comeback for them as well. Tampa at 8, Columbus at 9, and Winnipeg at 10. So those are your top 10 in the league at the 2026-2027 NHL season. The rest of your standings look like this. So at the bottom, you got Vegas, 27, 44, and 11. Wow. Ottawa 3rd. Ottawa 2nd last, Washington 3rd last, Calgary 4th, St. Louis 5th, San Jose 6th, Anaheim 7, New York Islanders 8, Pittsburgh Penguins at 9. So they couldn't hold it together from the beginning of the season. That's okay though. Utah Steelheads at 10. So those are your 10 worst teams. Los Angeles, unfortunately, did not make the playoffs this year. All right, boys. So this is the 2027 Stanley Cup playoff tree. On the western side, we have Dallas versus Nashville. So Roger McQueen and Askarov, how could they do against your Dallas Stars, who came from the bottom and are now at the top? Colorado versus Minnesota. So that's a rivalry matchup. I feel like that happens quite often, especially when Minnesota was actually good. Vancouver versus Seattle. Edmonton versus Winnipeg. On the east side, you got New York versus Columbus. New Jersey versus Boston, Toronto versus Tampa Bay, and we are playing the Detroit Red Wings. Battle of the original 6 in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2027. The Detroit Red Wings. You got Lucas Raymond, Dylan Larkin, and DeBrincat on the first line. Vetrano with Casper and Iafallo. Evander Kane with Veleno and Grunstrom. Berggren. Okay, so Sturm's playing on the last line with Rasmussen. This is a depthy team, boys. Holy moly. How did Veleno do this year? 61 points. So definitely a bounce back from last year. 61 points for $8 million. Playing third line. I mean, I guess if they could afford him there, their team's looking pretty good when it comes to, an all-around look of the top 12. Defense, you got Gostisbehere and Sider, Niemela, Edvinsson, Wallander, and Palika. So, yeah, even a good back end for sure. Very offensive. They're an offensive threat, and Sider's a big boy, so it's still scary. And so is Edmondson, actually. 6'6", 226. Goalies there, Stuart Skinner and Sebastian Kosa. But it looks like Skinner is going to get the nod in Game 1 against us. So, we'll see how that goes. So, we didn't make any changes all year. Going into the playoffs, like I said, we'll put Perron if we really need. But going into the playoffs, we have Farrell, Suzuki, Sveshnikov, Caulfield, Doc, Slavkovsky, Heineman, Crosby, Malkin, Fisher, Beck, and Foxa. On D, Gouli, Letang, Mayu, Hudson, Bichelle, and Korzak. Crazy to think an 80 overall D is still ripping it. I love it. 80 and 83. They're plus 39 and plus whatever. And then Joey Decord and Fleury as your goalies. Decord is going to get the nod for Game 1. All right, boys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was episode 13, the remainder of the season, I guess, and the trade deadline. Next episode will be round 1 of the playoffs. This is the Detroit Red Wings. So stay tuned. See you guys in the next one. Peace.